And welcome back to Let's Play Super Mario Galaxy. Last time we started the Sea Slide Galaxy, almost completed it, but we're one star short. The silver stars of the Sea Slide, or of Sea Slide, which that syntax will never stop being clunky to me. It's like, where are the articles here? But here's just me being nitpicky. Hey, you can actually see where we were last time up there. That could have gone better. Also, I accidentally triggered all the hidden cutscenes I meant to show on screen. But luckily, I have a backup file, so I can still show those. Because I discovered on my 100% file, which I'll be using to show off something at the end of the project, I apparently never actually triggered those cutscenes during the 100%, my second 100% run. Which is really lucky, because I can show those now. I'm not gonna risk it. I was like, should I? And it's like, nah, that's too dangerous. If you basically pull yourself with enough momentum and then release it, you can actually launch yourself to that 1-up. Despite me being incredibly short on lives, I'm actually not going to try that for now. Yeah, which will probably backfire in a spectacular fashion. If I had to make a prediction, it'll be faster to swim over there, so goodbye B-suit. For now, at least. So got Red Koopa. Which brings up the question of why. Okay, that takes you back to the start. Well, that was a gigantic waste of time. So I guess while we're here, one thing I can talk about is this game has really good water effects. I don't know if I've actually gotten to enough, if I have praised those enough, but yeah, this game actually looks really pretty when it comes to water. Again, some of the character models look a little bit choppy and textures look a little bit outdated, but on the whole, this game is still really good looking. And look at how long our footprints last in the sand before they start despawning. That's pretty ridiculous, actually. So yeah, from a technical standpoint, this is, in my opinion, the best looking Mario game. I think. 3D World, I'd have to replay again. Okay, the reason why I used that little star was I thought that took you to the center island, which we have to actually go to. So that's why I used that. I didn't know that one particularly took you back. That one in particular took you back, so that was unlucky. Can you not use shells as a bee? Apparently not. I actually don't remember that. Or didn't remember that. Well, that wasn't as helpful as I would have liked. We gotta get to the top of this tower, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure there's something up there, but the question is, how the frick do we get up there? Well, we don't actually go there straight from the ground. We actually need a bit of a lift. And conveniently, there's a tree right here to give us said lift. Or is it on the... It's on the tree, not the lighthouse. And I really wish you can use camera, first-person camera, a lot more often. Because it's actually restricted. You can only use it in certain areas, which is like really contrived in my opinion. This game definitely does not have the best camera. As much as I do like the game, that is definitely something I will not defend about it. Is that the camera really wasn't the greatest. And the camera was actually something they fixed in Galaxy 2, from what I recall. They, well, I think it's just not that the camera itself was automatically better, it's just that they tweaked the level design so in such a way that the camera was generally more cooperative. It really made a difference. Believe it or not, it actually helped quite a bit. I don't remember having nearly as much camera problems, or as many camera problems in that game, so they must have done something right. But yeah, again, just to bring up this argument again, I would personally suggest that Galaxy 1 is the better game on the whole, but that Galaxy 2 has generally tighter gameplay and level design. But hey, it's better than one game having it all. So this also takes back to the start, so my bad, again. I'm just looking for that way to that center island. I think you just used the clouds, but I just wanted to make sure. Actually, do you need the bee to actually get there? I think you do. But yeah, this is the most time-consuming Star of the Galaxy, if you ask me, even over a lot of other really long ones in this galaxy, like the races. Which is a slight issue I have with this galaxy, is that there are two races, which feels, well, one is a ring race, so it's a little bit different, but still. This is a race-heavy galaxy, and I kinda wish they'd broken it up a little bit. You basically have to swim 2 laps through the ocean just to complete 2 stars, and then you have to go around again, maybe above ground this time, to get another star. So it's a little bit tedious, and we haven't even gone to the most tedious part yet. Well then, that was interesting physics. Also, water doesn't heal you in this game, unlike 64. In 64, if you're at the surface of water, you'd actually regain health, and they never really explained how that works, but I remember they left it in, so it must have been intentional. I mean, when they made the DS version, they left that in, so it must have been on purpose, but I still don't know what the point of it was. Yeah, this star just takes forever, in my opinion, and it's one of my not preferred early game stars, or pre-post game, or main game stars, I guess you could say. Just because of how long it is, and if you mess up you have to swim back, get the bee, and rinse and repeat. So it's just kind of a chore, if you ask me. And again, that is the thing I would give this game flack for, even in comparison to 64, is this game's stars are generally a lot more work. And it's not as much of a pick up and play kind of game. Not that every game has to be like that, but again, Galaxy just lacks a little bit of replay value, in my opinion, because of how tightly structured certain parts of that game are. It's sort of unforgiving in its structure when it comes to replayability, because some stars like this just grind the pacing of the game to a complete halt. And honestly, I don't even know how to get over there, because I don't see a path over there. And now the camera's losing its mine completely. The camera is completely losing its mind. That's what I'm trying to say. Could have sworn it was from this center island, but there's no way you can actually get the bee over there. Again, I tried all the warps, and none of them went to the actual island. They all just went to other places. So this is, again, one thing that is weird to me, because I remember the star, and I remember not liking it, but I don't actually remember how to complete it. At least I can jump to speed things up a little bit. I think, yeah. I wonder if you have to use the cannon to get over there, actually. No, the cannon points that way, so I don't know if you can point the camera over there. Yeah, I know it involves something, some kind of trick. Oh, I think I got it. Maybe it's from there. AKA the other side of the map. But I could have sworn you either use clouds or a launch star, but like a specific one. But yeah, this is just, again, one of those stars that to me isn't that fun. And this game generally has more of that compared to other Mario games. Sunshine being the exception, because that game has a lot of not fun, kind of obtuse requirements to actually navigate it. And again, I like Sunshine, but it has its fair share of problems. I can admit that. I'm gonna try to check over here if there's something, but I feel like there shouldn't be anything. Maybe it's here. What does that do? Okay, there we go, finally. So that creates a path. I forgot that was there. I think I passed by that, but just didn't make note of it. So it just kind of slipped my mind. Because I was trying to get the one on top of the tree, so I kind of spaced out on spinning that. I don't know if you can spin that with the bee, either. I think the star does show up over... Wow. Okay. Thanks. But they give you a launch star to get back. So that's nice, at least. Where does this actually put us? Okay, back here. And, okay, that actually explains why there's so many of these little stars. To send you back to the start, because that's where the start is. That took 10 minutes. That took 10 minutes. Wow. Yeah, but again, that's just the one I always struggle with the most in terms of remembering all the little moving parts of the actual level. And it just always takes me a really long time, and that's not even the most time-consuming star at the Seaslide Galaxy. Believe it or not. So, finally we are done with Seaslide Galaxy, now moving on to Toy Time. Toy Time is actually a pretty good galaxy. This is actually a really good intro to it too. It starts off really strong. Mecha Bowser, I don't really see it as Bowser, to be honest. It's kind of a stretch saying that's Bowser, if you ask me. But hey, we get a remix of the classic Mario song, so that's pretty nice, right off the bat. We got an 8-bit Mario back in the distance, which is pretty sweet. But also is home to one of the worst levels in the game, according to most people. And why that is, we'll find out much later. It's post-game star, but it's pretty infamous. It's the one I always hear about, being the worst. I think there are actually worse post-game stars than that, but yeah, some people consider that one of the worst, if not the worst. This is actually a pretty solid remix, and it actually shows up again in Galaxy 2, if I recall correctly. So you can pop out bolts by spinning them, which is an interesting mechanic. So you can also defeat them by spinning them to knock them off balance, and that kind of helps you avoid the fire attack. So if we long jump over here, this is something important to note. Every time you see like a purple surface, that's basically... actually, am I in trouble? I'm trying to remember what I think I might have done something bad. Yeah, we were actually supposed to go over here first, I think. Check that out, and do this. Release the cage. Also, spinning this bolt, slows that, or stops that, and also makes star bits appear, which we need plenty of them, so might as well stop and collect as many as we can. Just the texture on that side surface is actually really impressive. Now, I'm not 100% sure enough to make a solid prediction, but this also reminds me a bit of Mario Kart 8. Even though that's kind of a retroactive comparison. He transformed into Spring Mario, press A at the right moment to bounce high. If you ask anybody who's played this game what their least favorite power-up is, there's like in my opinion, probably like an 80% chance that they're gonna say Spring Mario, because this is the most unwieldy power-up in the game. It's kind of hard to control, and it gets worse in Galaxy 2, where they actually ask you to do incredibly tight platforming with Spring Mario, and it's just really a bad idea. There's one in Galaxy 2 where you have to jump across a bunch of really tiny gears with Spring Mario, and it's just the worst. It's one of the most clunky power-ups, power-up stars in that game that I recall. The main issue with this is you basically don't have as much control as I would like. Especially when dodging lasers. like we are, I would kind of bait it to one side and go away from it. But still, that's not a guarantee. This is just really finicky, if you ask me. Trying to dodge all of this stuff being launched at you. Also, you automatically wall jump off things, which can get you killed very easily if you're not careful. So yeah, I would say Super Mario is the worst power-up in the game, easily, because it is the most unwieldy. Luckily, it actually doesn't show up nearly as much as the B or the Fire Flower, if I recall correctly. I mean, we're seeing a new power-up at the 5th dome, which means there's only one more set of levels, so it kind of goes without saying that we actually don't get much use out of the Spring Mushroom late game. And again, when it does appear in Galaxy 2, it gets really awkward with how precise they want you to be, and yet with how not precise the Spring Mushroom can be. I feel like I'm just complaining about everything this episode. But this is kind of a part of the game that I do have problems with, because of weird design choices. Again, like I've said before, I do feel like Galaxy is a game that's kind of front-loaded, where all the most memorable, best remembered levels are all kind of clustered together at the beginning. Then the game kind of throws out a lot of not-so-popular, not-so-memorable levels late game. Even though I do generally think this is a really solid game and one of the better Mario games, I do admit, personally, the level design does not really do it for me late game. I like the whimsy of this level though. It's also the fact that some of the backgrounds and sort of level tropes, I guess you could say, get a little bit samey later on. Like, how many beach levels have we had? And that's not alleviated in Galaxy 2. Yeah, they reuse level types a few too many times occasionally, and then you have a couple oddball ones like this that just pop up kind of randomly near the end. But also, it's kind of a little bit too late, if you ask me. So this part's a little bit complicated because of the fire. You gotta time your jumps carefully. Well, that sucked. Losing that right there at the very end of this. I'm going to try to trick this out so we don't need to go back for the spring. And we defeated Mecha Bowser. Now the hilarious thing is all the little Guillermos are actually kind of covered in smoke and ash because, or not ash, but like gunk because of being a robot being blown up, but they survived somehow. Don't know what happened to the Kamek up there, or all the enemies, why they didn't live. 79. I would like to have gone up to 80, but hey. We're only one behind schedule, mostly because Seaslide took so long. But in any case, thank you for watching, and I hope you join me next time for more Super Mario Galaxy.